Congress is deciding to try to go after radical judges who are trying to stop the Trump agenda. Tomorrow, the House is voting on a bill that would limit district judges from issuing nationwide injunctions.
62% or 64% of all the injunctions, national injunctions that are issued against a president or against Donald J. Trump over the last several decades, and 90% of those or something were issued by judges that were appointed to the federal bench by Democrat presidents.
But Trump is still scoring some wins. The Supreme Court sided with the administration last night, allowing it to enforce the Alien Enemies Act, using the Alien Enemies Acts, and putting a stop to court shopping.
We have judges that didn't want us to do it. We have judges that wanted the very evil gang members from Trendy, Iroquois, and MS-13. They didn't want them taken out of the country and put in very powerful prisons. But we've been fortunately winning those cases. But we have judges that are out of control that say, oh, bring them back, bring them back. We don't want them back.
The radical judge who stopped the deportations originally, James Boasberg, was supposed to have another hearing on it today, but canceled after the Supreme Court ruling. Joining me now is Jonathan Turley, Fox News contributor, George Washington law prof. Jonathan, now one of the main takeaways from the SCOTUS ruling is that the case shouldn't have been filed in D.C. It should have been filed in Texas, where the individuals were held. So why would Boasberg accept jurisdiction on this case?
Well, that's the real mystery here. When this case first popped up, a number of us said this looks like a habeas case. And if it's a habeas case, it has to be brought where this person is being held or where the custody occurs, and that's in Texas. But for some reason, the judge took the case and proceeded to issue a series of sweeping orders against the administration. None of those orders were proper, according to the Supreme Court. And the court really slapped back a bit at the challengers as well, to some extent the court, and said, obviously, this has to be brought in Texas. And I think the justices saw it for what it was, which is judge shopping and forum shopping. You know, they came to D.C. in the hopes of finding a good and favorable judge. They found one. But all of that was for naught.
Well, Democrats aren't happy with the Supreme Court ruling, Professor, on Trump's use of the Alien Enemies Act. Check it out.
It's going to be refiled. The case is going to be refiled. I would have liked to have seen the court take a very strong stand here. Again, a huge stretch from what the law was laid out for and how the president is using it. I wish the court had taken a stand on that instead of on technical grounds.
Jonathan?
Well, first of all, the court indicated, by the way, that the president has considerable authority in this area. Past courts have said that. There's an open question of how much of this is even reviewable. On that, President Trump is going to have an advantage. As for these cases sent to Texas, they do get due process. The court was unanimous on that point. But it will be in a habeas context. And quite frankly, I don't see how many, if any, of these individuals will ultimately prevail in that process. The standard is heavily against them, given their records.
Yeah, and another big case today involving those probationary workers that the Trump administration, 16,000 of them, were let go. The court, a 7-2 ruling, said that halting a lower court order by a Clinton-appointed judge, William Alsup, that required 6 federal agencies to rehire more than 16,000 probationary workers. It's a big deal. That's 7-2. That was just such a bizarre lower court ruling, though, Jonathan. They are probationary workers, first of all.
Yeah, and this judge secured a 7-vote against them on this issue. You know, the President of the United States is allowed to run the executive branch. And these judges have to remember that they've been appointed, not anointed. You know, there is a system here in which a president is allowed to reduce the size of government, look for waste, and many of these early orders have been reversed for that reason. And so I think that what you're beginning to see is that the system is correcting itself. But I think Congress is in the mood to step in to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, they don't. Otherwise, we're running out of time here. Jonathan, thank you so much.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.